We back with full auto Tyrant Sword. Now Tyrant Sword has received some buffs, a few changes here and there, and a slight buff to evasion. Slight. Honestly, it's not even noticeable, barely an inconvenience. I don't even know why they bothered mentioning it. The minimum score to get to is 12k, and we will do our best to reach that. I have a budget team and then an invested team for this. My budget team will consist of farmable units and units available to new players through the selectors. So let's go ahead and check them out. Alright guys, pay attention to who I have as lead. I have Xiaolin all the way back there leading. Not because of her leader ability. I really could care less about that. She doesn't actually get to use that very well, but because it allows this boss to actually come forward. And since we're taking this wonderful mod that makes these ads completely useless, we have nothing to fear except the boss. As you can see, Mia with, I don't know, negative ground res is able to tank them just fine. But allowing the boss to move forward like we did, even if our units get pulled, they are not in too much danger. The boss will eventually, more than likely, turn around and kill them. But for the most part, as you can see here, they're in a decent range right there. They're not getting hit by specials. They're not getting, well, they're not getting hit by the auto attacks, that's for sure. And luckily we canceled the mythical ulti cancel by phasing the boss. But yeah, we may have lost some units here, but we're honestly pretty good. We don't have to sit here and worry about time too much with a nice 25%. We have until, I believe, around a minute left on the clock to end up beating this boss. But yeah, just don't lead any of your first 4 units. Like, yeah, see, like I said, they're eventually gonna die, but look how close the boss is to death. Like, just you know. And there we are. Nice little 12k score, got 700 extra points, so there's definitely a lot of room for wiggle. And like you'll see with the gear, we're not running anything like crazy on them. You know, we got some Shadow Hall gear, but other than that, a lot of mix sets. For the budget team, we're running Tempest as the ship, and we're running Hana as the operator, though we don't actually ever proc Hana. Vivian will probably be a better bet here. For gear, Sigma is just running a CDR set. The more CDR, the better. Maria, we have on CDR so that we can get as many, you know, ults as we can in and specials. Yeah, I'm actually running on CDR as well. This is just for timing purposes so that we can iframe during one of the swords. It works out for me, but it's not necessary. You can run, depending on your mods, you can run some anti-striker sets. Swordsman, we just have on full tank gear. Best tank gear that we can sit there and put. Ground res, crit damage res, whatnot. Xiaolin, we are running as much anti-striker, anti-ground as we can fit onto her. Shadow Hall gear is great here. For Shieldmen, we are running tank gear as well. We need them tanky, we need them to stay alive for as long as they possibly can. Wardens, we're going with the anti-striker, anti-ground combo. And as you see, Shadow Hall works here, but we can run anti-striker sets. So Yoon, I'm actually going with a tank build here, just so that we have a third tank option. She stalls a little bit, gives our team a buff. It's nice. So we are using Blue Bridge for timing. You can use other ships. I just kind of prefer this so that my front line can get to the boss a little bit quicker, as we have to sit here and cycle them a lot. Now we have some annoying gnats that are flying around our units, but as you can see, Wardens just tank them absolutely fine at this percentage, which is actually kind of hilarious. But we digress here. So we're gonna get Sigma out for some extra damage at the start here while she lives, and then get Kurian to sit there and start poking at this boss, because it's gonna take a while. With the changes, no crit res increased crit res and no defense. You think that make things quicker? No, it actually slows it down quite a bit. But we're gonna cycle our front lines, having Chifu come out right when Horizon dies, which is really helpful. And as you can see here, we're using Ludmilla, rare appearance, but as you can see, she completely dodges that sword pull because it cannot touch air units. It's absolutely amazing. We love it. And then I wish we didn't use auto ults, to be honest, because I think the Kurian ulti just healed the boss. It's honestly a waste of time, as Kurian, well, this boss on expert gains 200% melee res, and Kurian's ulti is actually melee. Isn't that wonderful, guys? Isn't that amazing? Sniper with a melee attack. Ooh, fun. But yeah, luckily we do some dodging here and there with Gia's ultis and specials. He has a lot of iframes, surprisingly, that we can kind of abuse if things work out well. Now, I did try to use Spencer instead, and where Spencer does have iframes during her special, it's kind of really hard to time that to not get pulled by the sword and buff your team. So I just kind of went with something that was more consistent. I went with Soyun here. And you know, she kind of helped out. She turned the boss for a moment. That was kind of cool. But we're just tanking those ultis like a boss here, just trying to burn down this boss as quickly as possible. And you know, even if we lose anything, because we're using Blue Bridge, we summoned the homies to sit there and slow the boss down from getting to our team. But with the Aegea shields, we're kind of just safe, honestly. Nice little 41k. There are ways to get a bit higher scores with different changes. Instead of Ludmilla, we could sit here and run Jaina. I got a 42k with that, but Jaina's kind of inconsistent, so that's why I decided to go with Ludmilla. For the invested team, running Blue Bridge as the ship and Vivian with A-Speed as the operator. Crit damage actually does nothing here unless you just stack a ton of it, but then you lose out on Cat 1 damage, so it's not really suggested. For Sigma, we are running full CDR. We want to spam as much DP as possible. Kurian, we want to sit here and stack as much anti-striker as possible. You can go with A-Speed set or just double anti-striker. Horizon, we just put on our best tank gear and pray. Sanjia, we want as much skill haste as we can possibly fit on her using specials and ults. Chifu, I just went CDR. You don't do any damage with her, so I threw tank, but it's not like it actually makes her tanky against this boss. I don't know. I just threw skill haste on her. For Ludmilla, we went with more anti-striker damage. Soyun, you can just kind of toss whatever gear. I went with tank type gear just so that maybe she's useful. Turns the boss when she gets pulled. And then Wardens, we have on more anti-striker gear. You can use Shadow Hall gear for this boss. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you get the minimum score this season. I actually have no complaints about this boss this season. The devs did a good job. It had challenging mechanics that are possible to do. Honestly, I hope they continue with this direction moving forward. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link is in the description, and if you want to help support this channel, there's a link in the description for that too. As always, I will see you all next time.